posting their solutions on so that you can search for it against the challenges you have. Let's just put this into context. Can't sell it in 10 minutes, I've got nothing to sell.
So first of all, we're looking for a virtualized, agile platform. The second thing, and this is I've broken Cisco's approach down into a very simple two-string approach. The second area, of course, is that you need that network layer in order to facilitate a secure communication with the second data center so you can call upon those resources. So what I'm going to focus on today is the Unified Computing System, which is our agile compute platform, virtualized compute platform, in order to perform that decoupling of the application from the server estate. And then I'm going to bring with me as I go along this idea that you need a secure network in order to actually make that of use. So the key features of UCS, which is the compute platform that decouples the application because it's virtualized, is that it's a unified fabric, which means that it's we use something called Fibre Channel over Ethernet. So that is one fabric as opposed to two. You would normally use two in that environment. Easy to manage, a single point of management. Extended memory technology, because memory is usually what curtails virtualization inside the data center. So we expand on the memory. Complete virtualization and dynamic provisioning, which means that the compute power itself is fluid within the network. We can have something becoming a web server during the day. We re-provision it at night to do your Oracle number. Security inside this system is very much based around the virtual world. So it's not based around physical servers, it's based around virtual machines, which is the new nucleus of the data center, we think, going forward. So we've got granular understanding of the data that flows between virtual machines, and that means then that we'll have understanding of that data when it flows from you to your service provider when you're ready to make that cloud computing jump. Unified fabric is key. Fibre Channel over Ethernet means that we can save on power, save on parts inside, and memory extension means we can do a lot more with a lot less inside the data center. Pushing the security through every layer of the infrastructure rather than just having it at the operating system level is absolutely key for us. We have a depth of security as opposed to a security. That's our go-to-market strategy for cloud and cloud security, focusing on UCS as a single solution and how we're bringing on the network in order to turn that into a secure cloud solution.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Stuart.
The challenge that I'm going to talk about today is how you can secure your communications to, from, and in the cloud. So we took some technology we were using in-house and we created this product, which is VPN-Qt. VPN-Qt is an overlay network. And the guys we're talking to at Cisco call it an over-the-top network. But you think of it as a virtualized network, and we call it VPN just so people get a rough idea of the sort of thing it should be doing. It isn't really a VPN, but it is a true virtualized network. A collection of software. It is a software switch, bridge, and router, and we use open source, industry standard implementations of standard messaging, standard routing, standard IPsec, and standard SSL. And so what that allows you to do is to take control over your assets when you're deploying them on someone else's infrastructure. So it allows you to have control over encrypted communications. So what happens is the managers create a secure perimeter in the cloud, across multiple clouds, or connecting back to your data center as well. And we have two other products which it works very well with, but we don't enforce you to use the products together. The first one is a software factory, where you can have your own software factory for image creation, deployment and management. So if you're creating thousands of VMs to run out on cloud or multiple clouds, then the software factory approach with a bill of materials where you abstract away the deployment runtime characteristics from the bill of materials is our recommended approach. And then we have Context Cube, which allows you to launch clusters of servers together, and it's effectively boot scripts as an appliance, so you can give that personalization to your servers at boot time.
One of the challenges I had for this afternoon was to decide just what to talk to you about in this short presentation. IBM is doing a lot of work around the cloud in general. You know, we offer software as a service. You might have heard of Lotus Live. We're also doing a lot of work around securing the cloud. What I'm going to describe to you this afternoon is the IBM Virtual Security Server for VMware. It's things like IPS, intrusion prevention systems, firewall, rootkit analysis, analysis of the traffic between the virtual machine environments, virtual patching, which is something we've been developing over a number of years. Attacks on the virtual machine environment itself are really on the rise, particularly for VMware. So we know the threat is increasing, the attacks are increasing. So that does suggest we need to do something to mitigate that threat. How much you do, how much you spend, how much is the right level, that will depend on your risk profile, right? The type of organisation you are. It's basically a piece of software. You're going to install it into the machine where VMware is installed. It only works with vSphere version 4, nothing else. Okay. Specifically this virtual environment. Okay, and it plugs in there and it provides the various protections I talked about. Firewall, intrusion prevention service. It monitors the network traffic between the virtual machines, does the rootkit detection, and so on. What else can I tell you? And that is it. Simple. So it's a very niche piece, but if you think you're under threat in this virtual machine space, if you are using VMware to build your virtual environments, then this is a very specific solution for that in a very simple and efficient way will reduce the risks in a number of areas.
So a little bit about us. I've got 10 minutes. Wow, it's going to be hard. Created the company around this piece of technology that was used at Credit Suisse to manage what is essentially an internal cloud and enable the internal cloud and really move things forward. We have a piece of fabric. We have fantastic things like the Cisco UCS systems sitting there in the data center with people managing that fabric, looking after it, understanding hardware, network, servers, and you have operations people close to the business, you have business end users, and they have no idea of what's going on inside there. They don't need to understand it. They don't want to provide that layer of abstraction between the end user, the support people who support and look after and wrap around those end users, and the abstraction between them and the guys who run the data center, who look after your networks and storage, understand the little bits and pieces inside. But really, at the heart of it, it's about process. It's enabling those processes and running those processes, standard processes, ITIL-based processes, that's inside the cloud making things happen, right? So how do I create that LAN? How do I carve out that network? How do I do those things? How do I provision a server? How do I decommission? These are all the things that I need to do and codify. I need to turn those processes into a mechanism that can run and a repeatable process. Self-service is the thing that allows us to mass distribute and enable the cloud to those masses, to those people that you've abstracted the technology from. So to do that, you have to codify the processes. And that's the other thing we do very, very. It's about three things, right? It's the who, the what, and the when. So the who is able to see the stuff in the cloud? Who can come to it, right? What VMs can you see in there? What is the resources you can see? The who, right? And I also filtered the who, so I can give you a slice of it. This is important because in the real world, we have big organizations, different departments, different divisions. We're all trying to get down into this one piece of shared infrastructure. And I have to figure out how to carve that out and give it to the appropriate pieces of